How's it going, guys? Conninja, and I am back, and I'm your coach of the Golden State Miniors, and we are back for another Draft League format. We are in the IPL, the International Pokemon League. Roshan, I apologize, man, I probably pronounced this wrong, but he did the graphics for my LA Padres layout. Super cool dude. He's in the Saffron City Trainers. Awesome graphic artist. Definitely go check him out. I know Trexo's talked to him. A bunch of people have commissioned him, so definitely go check him out. Awesome guy. Go follow him on Twitter, that kind of jazz. But we back for another Draft League, and I'm kind of 3 weeks behind, so I'm gonna be doing some recordings here. But awesome team. I'm excited to. This is gonna be definitely a new team for me. I'm excited to show it. A little bit more of a bulky team than anything else, but great fire, water, grass core. Great dragon, fairy, sort of steel. Steel's okay, but the fairy, dragon, steel core is on point as well. This team overall is really good, and I'm excited to use it. But I ended up picking 7 out of 12 teams, and this was our first round pick. We end up getting Victini, aka Nike, because you know Nike is the Greek goddess of victory, and its ability Victory Star. Now Victory Star is an awesome ability. I believe it's like 1.2 times in terms of accuracy, so you know Thunder has a better chance of actually hitting rather than missing. What's its special fire move? Blue Flare, Bolt Strike, all that jazz. So the nice thing about this, it's 100 off across the board, just like any sort of Mew copy Mythical Mon. But this thing can be run as both a physical attacker and a special attacker. So you can run things like V-Create, Bolt Strike. What is physical? Bolt Strike. You can run Flame Charge if you want to get a little bit of boost there. Brick Break. But V-Create is an awesome move. Unfortunately, it hits so hard. It's like base 140 damage. But the only issue with it is the fact that here it is, like 180 base damage, but you get a drop in special defense, and speed, so you slow down and you get much weaker. You also get U-turn, so if you want to gain some momentum by U-turning out and all that jazz. But then you can also run special set, so Glaciate, ice type move. You get Thunderbolt, Blue Flare, which is its special fire move. Awesome. It has some decently good coverage. It also gets Zen Headbutt, because it is a Psychic type. It gets Zen Headbutt physically, and then it gets Psychic specially. But again, U-turn is awesome to gain some momentum. You can run a Choice Band set. You can always run a Final Gambit if you wanted to. You can run Trick on this thing if you want to trick a Choice Scarf or even a Choice Specs. But yeah, you can run Band, Specs, Scarf, Life Orb, all that jazz. Awesome on. You can play with this thing so much. If you need that ice coverage, you run it more of a special attacker. You could run it as a mix set if you really wanted to. If you need Glaciate that bad, you run it more of a mix set. But an awesome Mon altogether. I'm excited to use this thing. This thing hits so hard with that V-Create. Its move coverage it may just look like, oh, it's just a base 100 attack / special attack. Look at its moves. Look at the base power of those moves. They just hit so hard. So I'm very excited to use Victini here. But next up in the second round, we end up picking Rotom Wash-O-Matic with that water and electric typings. It gets that Levitate ability, of course, which means it's only weak to grass types. Base 107 defense, base 107 special defense, and a base 105 special attack. Decent speed and a base decent speed at a base 86, which is not too shabby. It can be a Volt Switcher, gain some momentum. It can be your Defogger to get rid of hazards. Again, you can run a more bulky set. You can run Leftovers on this thing. You can run Will-O-Wisp to hinder some sort of physical attackers. Again, this thing is really only weak to grass-type moves. You can run any sort of hidden power. Its water-type move, of course, is Hydro Pump. It gets Thunderbolt. In terms of other coverage, I think that's about it. You can get some decent recovery in Pain Split if you really wanted to. But you can get, like, Hex, Dark Pulse. Actually gets Electro Web, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, awesome on. Very bulky, of course. So this is very nice to take any sort of water hit that Victini fears. So again, good Firegrass Water Core form in here. And it gets finished up here with my third round pick. We end up getting Mega Venusaur. Now I've been waiting to pick up this mon because it has 4 weaknesses, of course: Fire, Ice, Psychic, and Flying. But Fire and Ice are hindered based off of its ability, its Mega ability, of course, Thick Fat, which halves any sort of damage from Fire or Ice moves. So it's really only weak to Flying and Psychic types, as you will learn gets brought a lot. But Mega Venusaur, super bulky. Base 80 HP, not bad, not bad. But base 123 defense, base 120 special defense, and base 122 special attack. So this thing can hit hard. It can take hits for days. You get Synthesis as reliable recovery. You can also Leech Seed them on if you wanted to. You can Giga Drain to gain recovery and still do damage. Sludge Bomb. If you want to run a more physical set, you got Earthquake. I believe you get something like Seed Bomb. Not Seed Bomb. Of course not. But you get Stomping Tantrum if you really wanted to. You can get Skull Bash to hit something super hard if you want to run a more physical set. Power Whip, of course, for that physical coverage. Let's see what else here. See, is that it in terms of coverage? Yeah, but the goal of this thing is to take hits, and that thick fat ability really helps with that. So I can actually safely switch this thing into any sort of fire or ice move, which is awesome. I find that super awesome. And great, it's great to hit any sort of fairy type. It's great to hit any sort of water types. But as you can see, even though both Rotom Wash and Mega Venusaur are super bulky, they still have some decent speed. Mega Venusaur has 80, Rotom Wash has 86. Because even Victini is not that fast. It's got a base 100 speed, so it's a lot of those average speed tiers. Something like Charizard, Entei, kind of speed tie with it. But yeah, really clean Fire Grass Water Core, if I have to say so myself. I've never drafted a better Fire Grass Water Core than this. Because normally I'm drafting a Fairy or Dragonmons in these first 2 rounds. So I am excited to work out this core. It looks awesome on paper. Who knows how well I use it as a battler? We'll have to see in terms of building it. Of course, I'm nicknaming this Cornosaur. Shout outs to any of those Conninja kind of memes. But the reason why I did this is because shiny Venusaur, its flower becomes yellow, so it reminds me of corn. But yeah, Cornosaur. Next up, we end up drafting Sylveon with our 4th round pick. Yes, I got this baby in the 4th round. Cotton Candy. Awesome Mon. If you remember, I used this back in my first ever draft league, the D&D Season 5. Awesome Mon gets that pixelated ability, which helps with something like, boost any sort of fairy moves that were originally normal types. So something like Hyper Voice hits so hard, you don't even need to use Moonblast, unless, of course, you're going to do Fairy MZ. But base 110 special attack, base 130 special defense, base 95 HP. So this baby's a cleric. It's a wish passer. It hits things hard. It can take hits. So I'm really excited to use this Mon. You get things like Psyshock, and then more often than not, any sort of other coverage is going to be your hidden powers. But Hyper Voice hits almost anything super hard. The only things that resist, I believe, are going to be Bug types and Steel types. I can't remember if Fairy resists Fairy. I don't think it does. So again, the only things that resist are going to be Steel and Bug. So nothing wants to switch in on a Hyper Voice from Sylveon, just like nothing ever wants to switch in on a Hyper Voice from Mega Gardevoir. Super awesome Mon. Again, I remember using this before. I used it so well. Takes hits. Unfortunately, it doesn't get any sort of recovery options, which is always unfortunate. Of course, you got Wish if you really wanted to run a Wish, Protect, Hyper Voice, maybe Toxic Set, or Hidden Power something for Steel types, that kind of thing. Oh, Fire. Fire is this fairy. Duh. But yeah, awesome Mon. Again, bulky team. Super bulky team. And why not just add some more bulk to it, but still heavy hitter? We got Latios with our 5th round pick. So yes, again, the Steel type's not so great, but this Fairy Dragon here, I am having some great cores here. And these cores have some very bulk, a lot of bulk to it. So again, this is the first time I've ever used this kind of a bulky team, so it's wild. Base 130 special defense, base 90 defense, base 80 HP, base 110 special attack, and speed. So the thing is super fast. You're going to outspeed things like Helios, Galvantula, all those being at 109 speed tier here. But it also hits hard. You can run a more calm mindset. Unfortunately, this is not Latios to where you can run a physical set with Dragon Dance, that kind of thing, Earthquake, yeah. But you can run a calm mindset. It does get recovery options in Roost or Recover. Doesn't matter which one you use because it's not flying type, so Roost is not really relevant. And they both have the same PP. So again, doesn't matter which one you use. Reliable recovery. You can run a more bulky set on this thing. You recover. You can hit things hard. You can run a more calm mindset. You can run 0 investment in special attack. Run Calm Mind. Run Recover. And then you can run Stab Move in either Psychic or Dragon Pulse or Psyshock, depending on what kind of mons you're facing. Psyshock may always be more beneficial, especially if you have to face a lot of AV sets, that kind of thing. You can run T-Bolt, Ice Beam, all that kind of stuff for coverage. Awesome Mon. I love using Mega Latios in the PGL. I didn't use it very well. Mega Latios was a lot easier to use for whatever reason. Even though I had that Kartana Mega Latios pair, it just didn't work as well as Kartana Mega Latios, which is strange because they're very similar mons. But, Latiboing, of course, always got to keep that same nickname. You can run Soldew if you really wanted to, because obviously this ain't going to be a Mega. You can run Choice Specs. Choice Scarf is always nice on a Latios/Latios. You can run Choice Specs if you really wanted to. You can run Leftovers. There's all sorts of things you can do with Latios based off the fact that it can hit hard and it can take hits. And it's super fast. So obviously this is one of my fastest mons on the team here. And funny enough, I actually just mentioned a mon that I picked up myself that you'll see here. But next up, we picked up Krookodile with that Dark Ground typing. Of course, you can switch this into any sort of Psychic Ore, so it is immune to Psychic and Electric, which is super cool. Base 92 speed, so it is rather fast. I thought it was only base 80. No, it's at base 92, so it does outspeed a little bit more mons. Base 117 attack, so it can hit really hard, and base 95 HP, base 80 defense. So it can take some physical hits if it really wanted to. Two great abilities in Moxie or Intimidate, so you can run a more Choice Scarf set, so you can get that Moxie boost every time you annihilate a mon. You get an Earthquake, Foul Play, Crunch, Rock Slide, Stone Edge, Fire Fang. I don't know if it gets Thunder or Ice Fang. I can look real quickly here. No, but it does get Iron Tail, which is super nice for fairy types. You get Shadow Claw, Super Power, and it does get Thunder Fang. Okay. So you can run a more bulky set if you wanted to. This is your stuff. This is going to be my rock setter. But you can run a more bulky set if you really want to, because it can take some decent hits. Unfortunately, it doesn't get any sort of recovery for the most part. I don't think it gets Drain Punch, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, no, it does not. You can run Dragon Tail if you wanted to eliminate any sort of setuppers. Aqua Tail for that fire coverage. Fire coverage, really. For rock coverage, really wanted to. Any sort of levitate mons, that kind of thing. But yeah, it hits super hard. You can run it it can be your sweeper if you wanted to with Moxie Scarf. You can run Intimidate, hinder some of those physical attackers that are giving you a problem. You switch in Krookodile, take a hit, switch it back out, switch it back in if need be. It can finish a game by intimidating, switching back into a mon, sacking that off, intimidating again because he can't switch out. It's his last mon, so then it can't kill you. You finish it off. Awesome stuff. Crusader is its nickname, of course. But with our 7th round pick, we end up picking Galvantula. I said this earlier, this is base 108, I thought it was base 109. Heliolisk is base 109. But Galvantula is awesome. I used this back in the PGL, of course, and it's got a base 97 special attack and a base 108 speed, so super fast. It can be your sticky web setter if you really wanted to, to have any sort of speeds from any other mons. Compound Eyes is nice if you want to use something like Thunder, because it boosts your accuracy. Swarm, you bring it down to your Sash, and then you can hit super hard with Bug Buzz or something like that. But T-Bolt, it can be a Volt Switcher. Weirdly enough, it doesn't get U-Turn, even though it has the typing to be both a U-Turner / Volt Switcher, so it's strange. But it doesn't get the greatest coverage, so you have to run things like HP Ice if you have to, all that jazz. You can run Scarf, you can run Specs, you can run Life Orb, you can run Sash, be a Sticky Web Sash setter, all that things. Doesn't get any sort of recovery, but can hit super hard. I liked it in PGL. Not the greatest at using it in terms of setting up webs and then letting it die. So I have to get better at using it. Of course, this nickname Shalab, just like it is in PGL, named after the spider in Lord of the Rings. But next picked up to finish that Fairy Dragon Steel Core, we picked up Registeel T379. If you remember this thing from MPBP, I loved using this thing. It takes hits for days with a base 150 defense and special defense. Holy shike. Takes hits, man. That thing takes hits. It's kind of in the middle in between Reggie Ice and Reggie Rock, now that I think about it, because Reggie Ice takes special attacks, whereas Reggie Rock takes physical attacks. But base 75 attack, base 75 special attack, base 80 HP. You can run T-Wave. It can't be intimidated, which is super nice. But gets all sorts of covers like Earthquake. You can run Seismic Toss if you want to. So complete bulk, no attack investment, just run Seismic Toss, T-Wave. You can run Leftovers on this thing. It's kind of self-explanatory. Just the important thing is this thing is super bulky. So I can switch this in. It's also a rock setter as well. I can set up rocks with this baby. But these cores are looking super bulky. I told you, this team is bulky as can be. But yeah, that's Registeel for you. Next up, we drafted Hitmonchan. Once again, I am Grok. If you don't know why I nicknamed that, just check out my draft analysis for my Los Angeles Padres in the PGL NU Cup. But I told you I love this mon. I told you I drafted this multiple times because it's super awesome. I won't go in depth because I don't need to, but it gets the Iron Fist ability, of course, so you can boost on sort of things like Fire Punch, Thunder Punch, Ice Punch, Mach Punch, Bullet Punch, Drain Punch. Yeah, it gets coverage, all that sort of coverage. Throat Chop, Bullet Punch is nice for priority. Mach Punch is nice for priority. Stab, Iron Fist boost. Bullet Punch also gets Iron Fist boost. It can Rapid Spin to get rid of hazards. Base 105 attack, base 110 special defense. Can run an AB set, takes hit for days. But yeah, self-explanatory. Great coverage, hits hard, takes hits. Awesome. And hazard removal. Next pick, we ended up getting Drifblim, aka Exploding Sun. This is what I named my shiny Drifblim back before I had a channel. X for that X on its face there, and it reminds me of Exploding Sun because of that Aftermath ability. But it's got 3 great reliable abilities there. Unburden. If you don't want to run an item, you can get boost on Acrobatics. Plus, you get a boost from Unburden there. Obviously, you have to use an item for Unburden there. But Flare Boost, you can run Flame Orb and then boost your special attack with Flare Boost. Awesome. And then Aftermath. If you want to run more Destiny Bond Aftermath kind of set. It dies. Gets off some damage with Aftermath. And then it takes its opponent with it with Destiny Bond. Does it get Destiny Bond? Yes, gets Destiny Bond. So you can run special or physical, depending on what you want to do. It gets coverage like Shadow Ball, Thunderbolt, Fire, Blast, or Flamethrower. Nah, just kidding, just kidding. It can run Haze or... what's that poison move? Clear Smog. Clear Smog. Gets Clear Smog, right? Yep. To hinder any sort of mons that want to set up on you. Acrobatics is nice if you don't have an item. I believe it gets Air Slash for special flying. But base 90 special attack, base 80 attack. Hence why you can run either special or physical. Base 80 speed. So it's not too slow, it's not too fast. Unburden helps with that. And then base 150 HP. My god, that thing can take some hits based off of that HP there. I don't know if it gets any sort of reliable recovery. Because Dream Eater is not reliable. Don't let anyone tell you. You can run a more calm mindset if you wanted to. You can run Memento. You want to allow this thing to die and then lower your other mons and then be able to set up with your next mon there. Awesome stuff. You can run Icy Wind if you want to drop the speed of your opponent. Pain Split is not reliable recovery, but it's decent recovery if you really wanted to. You can run a Recycle set. So you can run Citrus Berry, Unburden, Recycle. Interesting. I didn't even think about that. That could be interesting. That's all I can say about that. That could actually be really interesting. But yeah, awesome stuff. Ghost Switch it. It's obviously your Ghost type, so it can switch any sort of Rapid Spins, normal type moves. Yeah, but last mon of the draft, we drafted Licky Licky, Kirby's cousin. Now, I liked using this thing. I picked it up in the MPBP. You never saw me use it, but I really liked using this thing. It gets great coverage. It's a Wish Passer. I believe it's a Cleric as well. I think it gets Heal Bell. Abilities, meh, not really any sort of abilities, but it can take hits. Base 110 HP, base 95 defense, base 95 special defense, and can hit decently hard with a base 85 attack. It gets coverage like Fire Punch, Return / Frustration, of course, Thunder Punch, Ice Punch. You can run a more AV set if you wanted to, but again, it can also be a Wish Passer. You can run a more very bulky set. You can run Power Up Punch, get your boost from an attack, and set this thing up in Trick Room and then sweep from there. Do I have any Trick Room setters? I think Drifblim might be a Trick Room setter. But yeah, guys, that's my team. Awesome. Tell me how you like my team. Very bulkier team, of course. Not really ever used as much of a bulky team. Again, a super long draft analysis. I've been talking a lot. That's for darn sure. But yeah, let me know how you like my team. That's my Golden State Miniors team for the IPL, International Pokemon League. And I'll catch y'all later. My first 3 weeks, there's no set date for these. They'll just be going up when I can, because I have some catching up to do. I'll have to get my first 4 weeks up, because by the time this goes out, I'll have all 4 first weeks done, so I'll have to record those, post commentary, of course, and all that jazz. But, breaking the fourth wall here. I will check y'all later. Enjoy this rest of your day. Peace.